The way I'm feeling might be represented by you. I'm sitting here, I'm in a co-working space working on stuff. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm working on right now because there's not much to work on. Um, Posting online requires me to plug in my microphone. As you can hear, I didn't even do that. Um, I want to talk about the lack of motivation for even trying to post or provide something of quality in the online space. So recently I started running advertisement online instead of talking. Um, I have found that no matter where I post, some platforms are better than others, but there's no reason to be posting a quiet voice that's making a good post or a good point or a loud message that you'd think would get attention. So I'm asking, the general people outside of what you're seeing, you're not gonna see this video, you know? Like as I'm recording this, like what's the point of creating? It's a very genuine question. And that's an expensive question to be asking. Why is that expensive? Well, every one of these social media platforms relies on you wanting to care. It relies on you wanting to create something, engage with other people who create. Even an AI requires you to want to be motivated to do something. I've been programming my own startup, but it's really just a tool for me to use throughout the day. Even that has a demotivation show up. When you're not heard by a single person online, and you know it's fixable with the very algorithms that are being used, and even your paid advertisements are not reaching audience that is providing you that conversation. Look, a conversation has a requirement to you. That's what makes you get up in the morning. That's what makes you create. That's what makes you hold a certain standard. That's what makes you care. When social media engineers, which I blame as the source of every problem that's going to manifest itself over who knows how long. I'm not even motivated to do the research to show you that. There are so many problems, it's not even funny. Engineers have a level of blindness today to not get into details because why am I even bothering myself? It's better that I don't bother myself so I can go to work or have a relaxing day, go to work, enjoy my work, which is a kitchen. It's nothing to do with your Fortune 500 economy, which circulates itself. But who are you, well, you're listening to yourselves. It comes down to when do you create a leak in your own economy? something that gets people to not want to support its own economy. Because you can keep on paying yourself over and over. I mean, this is rat hole stuff. But, like, seriously, like, you clip it and then you post it. Who didn't learn that when you post online? I'm trying to talk a video that has value. A video that has value is a video that has a lot of clips available. If you don't think that, and especially if you work in Fortune 500, you have zero clue what you are doing. I don't say that from experience. Actually, I do say that from experience because I had a podcast. I still do. I'm actually quite heard on that podcast. I'm satisfied with it. Am I heard though? Why is everything this like create your assets, put them out there? How many people are creating today for no reason other than it's fresh and there's expected value there if it's done over time at a certain level of quality? What's the percentage of those people that actually realize that value or greater? I'm saying it's smaller by the day. It's a problem in whatever algorithm you've made. This goes to every social media company, including YouTube. Dude, YouTube is like one of the best for creators. If you've actually published as a creator, you would support YouTube over everything else. My point is this, though, and there's not one point here, but dude, I'm not even plugging in my microphone to give you good audio quality. You don't think there's a problem there? Because I'm telling you that your algorithm and your ad platform can be used to make sure that 5 people are hitting my feed, my inbox, engaged. The level of engagement, the level of quality of that conversation, those people are needed for everybody. It's possible to be done. You are blind to ideas that are human like that. I'm so past being bothered by this. Okay? I'm so past being bothered by this because I'm actually just giving up on the fact that social media or anything like that is something to be considered. Why is that something that I can say today? Because if these tools actually go in the right direction, then me not being on it is going to be valuable when those features do come out. That's a complete break of your economy that you rely on. Your business model, any business model, relies on a economy, a structured economy, and usually investors are looking at those economies if they make sense and if they sustain themselves. I'm saying I'm done posting. I run ads to be heard because I run them while I work. I put a portion of what I earn in ads and I run them. And it's against that idea. Saying engineers need to wake the fuck up. Seriously, how many of you work? There's one guy with a perspective saying get everybody 5 engaged conversations at a minimum to ensure your platform in a way that you cannot even imagine the cost. What are the costs of people not being heard? Like, you put TV on our phones. You told people to talk to the TV, and there's like no evidence. of any of that being social media. Like, look at your impressions. Impressions. Why don't you run $5 of advertisement or go ahead and run 50? Look, $50 in advertisement to learn a big lesson, you make $50 on your minimum wage job within 2 hours. Why are you spending your whole life, point number one, to reach specific people in the algorithm? It's not serving it up to them. If you're not main page, people do not engage with your content. They are not going to remember you. You might get impressions today. Like, look at some of these accounts on X. They are literally one step away from talking to the President of the United States. I could guarantee you that the quality of retention of that audience can go away for a lot of them. Some of those guys have gotten annoyingly stuck on the first page. And that's why you would remember them. Audiences like that are difficult for people to get rid of. Those people could go anywhere and people will be searching them. Everybody could have that by lunchtime is an ad that I ran for a while. I'm still finding the right creative. And it honed me down onto a creative that is about engineers. And it pinpoints the problem. It says at the end of that ad that like you got to go and watch it to see how a problem can be cornered in a certain way to where somebody, like, I don't think anybody's doing something malicious or on purpose. That's what gets an anger response, or has in the past. Not being heard on social media, man, is no joke. It's no joke. When you know that it's gonna cost their business as well, it's no joke. Brands and reputations are very important. Brands and reputations are very important. If you are letting people talk on your social media platform, let's put it like this, and those people realize that they've been talking at the TV for 3 years and there hasn't been a single quality engagement, they got a couple of likes, but somebody teaches them about advertisement, tells them that there is a difference between an impression and a conversion event. And within conversion events, there are low funnel and high funnel conversion events. The person that spends $500 is more valuable than the person who signed up for your website. And that is obviously more valuable than the person who gave you one impression. Everybody is looking for the person who spends $500 on their platform, not just another impression. That is something that the social media companies completely understand by pixels and allowing you to optimize for key events at different stages of your funnel. Why is the baseline requirement not that everybody have 5 of the most valuable conversations that social media can find for them to ensure that their creator economy stays alive? I mean that to the fullest extent. Think about it. Do you understand what happens when people are not heard? They're told, talk there, their friends are listening there, and their friends who follow them are seeing other shit over their own. How about if that person moved over there? Well, you can go on WhatsApp. Social media is gone if we go to that. I don't need social media to stay in touch with people by message, but I need social media to have people to message. Like, why am I advertising, though? That's business. And even businesses. How can you expect to be providing value to businesses when you can't guarantee that they can have at least 5 people that hear them? You can make a noticeable impact right now by running impressions on people's posts until there's 5 people we would consider in advertising a valuable event conversion has taken place. Guarantee that 5 of those users are available to every user. If there is a spam account, that is gonna let me explain how this works. If I post something and nobody hears it and nobody's talking to me, okay? I might get people who talk to me, they completely misunderstand my point to what I'm trying to say. I should be able to click, this ain't my 5 guarantee. Get it out. Okay? I don't want to spend my guarantee on this one. There's probably value for me or the social media platform or the community to know that I made that decision. That's something cool that you could program or develop there, I'm sure. The larger point is, though, how many impressions do I get in finding 5 people? Let's have a think over user base sizes. Okay? Search up the user base size. Search up and start to multiply the number of input that those users make on a daily basis or over a month. Let's simplify. Over 1 year, 1 month timeline. How much posting do you do? How much creation do you do? That's exciting. You had some fucking shit idea that I classify as shit. 5 people want to hear that idea on that day, on that morning, for that specific idea. You are in the zone on that specific. Somebody else too. Every one of those pieces of data is used by the algorithm to attach your post to somebody else in advertising. They have the tools available. What do you think optimizing for key events is on step number 1, probably step number 2 in let's not get into the details. Okay? You can optimize for events. What you are saying is, it's really stupidly simple, by the way. Okay? 50 people signed up. Their systems are competing on how well they can take that 50 people and fucking figure everything out down to the gene, if possible, legally, based on the data they can legally have available, to be able to then find other people demonstrating those patterns or whatever the fuck they're using, down to sunlight in your city right now if they are intelligent, and connecting you. Your ad gets shown there because you said you want to convert for that event. I want to convert for my event of giving a shit about talking to somebody. And I want that available as a standard on every social media platform, not by law, but instead by the fact that if you do not follow that, you get hit by a short at the counter on Wall Street that is not even fucking funny. Because you want to know who understands about money not being heard, having everybody go against them, and having to find a gene that nobody has found before to be able to publish something that changes market perspective to get paid, to pay for the advertisement of even showing them that shit. Now, how about you tell the street that artificial intelligence makes research absolutely useless? Like, this is a raw point. It's not, I'm sure there's 500 things that are wrong with it, but I'm saying there is a point within this. If I had that algorithm on a live stream, I could be live streaming this and have 5 people who want to talk to me about this right now, and I don't have to spend my 40 fucking years after this video gets published to create a book that 5 people who skipped past it are going to fucking read. Do you understand the magnitude of the problem? Because you have to start to look, how is this different from before? When you remove the variable social media and everything that came after it, and you wipe it out, like disc, like filter that out, and then you only have whatever the fuck was there before. Television, book sales, school, excitement about progress. Who the fuck is excited about progress today? Who the fuck is excited about progress today? I don't want another thing to be built. I do not talk about using what we have already available as somebody who got rich and then just wants to, that might be a fair point to them. They might just have hit a conclusion like that, and hats off to them for doing that. I say this most likely for a different reason, which is like, I haven't had a single thing be heard. I'm creating stuff that is useless. I don't even know if I believe the things that I am saying anymore, because I'm just at the point where I'm saying I don't know if I know or I don't. Like, this is literally just, what is the point? Okay? Like, we have assets called social media and live streaming companies that are extremely valuable. Can we fucking turn this technology on, or are you gonna lie to me that there is a reason? Because investment, we are investing for this shit to work. Okay? The users are building and creating as if this shit is going to work. Everybody fucking knows it is going in. The problem is that people might not know it's going in a worse direction by the fucking day. So I'm looking at the payrolls of every one of these social companies. How many useless, disgruntled engineers do you have working for you that hasn't created a fucking thing for 10 years? You have done what? How many people? How much time? And what the fuck have you done? And you paid them what? Now I'm looking at what that payroll has been saying. What has their speech been as a community while they have had fucking opportunity? Because you want to know that while they're talking the way that they do, with the payroll that they do, with the lack of progress that they do, and investors and users bet on them, okay, package that and put it there. Now let's look at the people that haven't been fucking heard. Let's look at every fucking opinion. Okay? Now let's look at the bot problem that you don't even know how to fix. You are destroying your fucking platforms when you try to fix a bot problem with your pathetic rodent of a fucking faculty that you think has to be at the center of every fucking story. Disruption, my ass. Disruption, my ass. Okay? Disruption is called you needing to be the center of every fucking story. Board to fucking entry level, you need it to be an engineer because you have that same rat shit belief that you had in college and you never fucking dropped it. Tell me I am fucking wrong on that one and I fucking take a position on that catalog. Anything that is engineer, I fucking short it and go long on anything human and I just show the cost. Because what the fuck else do I do? I'm talking about a short in terms of my life planning and also my finances. My life planning, though, is much more important. That's a hard decision to make. The cost of me doing that would be predicated on a video like this or predicated on you not understanding a fucking point. You don't see a problem in how many like you're gonna look like if you have the balls to look that up and say that that's not happening, you haven't understood what fucking culture is. You want to tell me that every board of directors and every entry level employee on market cap equals matters as a catalog sum is not engineer to be able to eat. Why does that matter? Number one, if that was happening, you would see that the problems that are being talked about are not only inflaming and hurting you, like AI is a concern, but it's also marketing for their own importance. Fuck engineers. Does that mean every other faculty is important? That might actually mean that every other faculty is an engineer. What the fuck are therapists doing? How much have they consumed that culture? I don't hear a single person that's heard that has actually used all this shit instead of saying, I'm gonna go grow seeds because this shit's done. Okay? I used all these tools. I built my own software. You know, I actually ran a server for my printer off my shit laptop. I understand what the wires are, alright? What fucking point are you making? 5 people for every person. The math checks out way more than whatever the fuck you're pitching. The pitch to the investors to raise the cash if you don't have it is our economy, our assets are fucking perfect right now, and all we need is to make this investment, which is a loss for us because it costs us money to do it, to be able to revive our fucking user base. You want to not do that because you think that that makes you guilty? How about somebody keeps on posting videos like this and then makes it a requirement, open source, that companies follow? Or if not, you think that guy standing over in the fucking corner here who's not hearing a thing while all of them are doing this, that guy is gonna get fucking wrecked at the table if he even finds a way to keep revenue coming in. You think that your user base is that rigid? I say Wall Street at the counter is hungry enough to fuck something to the incorporation papers after having taken, like, oh my goodness, over the last 15 years, there is not a thing. And I'm pretty sure you sold most of them on becoming engineers. The guy who stuck that out probably left his job. And that guy hitting the fucking counter on a raise, because if you don't understand what that shit means, it's not a fucking joke. That guy can go and shake 15 hands today and then 75 hands after that that back that position, and they keep on fucking shorting that shit. Price goes up, I fucking tank it. That's not how that works. But I can tell you that there's shit like that. Can do that. There's laws in place, obviously. But there's also places where that is not the case, i.e. swaps. Alright? When that guy and that guy have a disagreement and they can do it through swaps, there is not a fucking law in place. That guy represents the opinion. That guy represents the fuck that's not given. He raised, that guy's got cash flow coming in. That guy is gonna talk like what when he gets fucking fleeced. I'm so livid at this point that I don't even fucking plug in my microphone. I wait. I'm waiting. Okay? I'm waiting. How many on the street are programming? Thank you for making markets. Thank you for fulfilling orders. That is not the fucking value. That is not Wall Street. That is not Wall Street. Wall Street is saying your fucking details that you need to hear that this simple, obvious problem is a problem is not worth my time. Who else believes that? The guy who wants to say anything, literally anything, sign the contract. I dare you. The whole engineering profession should back their side. I have everybody else. I bet that's
Nobody. But guess what? I can run $2.50 in advertisement to $5 depending on my level of anger for the day to be able to be nice and calm. And then every day there's another person. There's not, after 10 years of me doing that, I start to take that data as a tip and I make sure they fuck it to the ground. Because I'm not going to be able to do that. Or I might be. I might see that data look like a steaming turd of shit. And even better, imagine if the whole market went against it in the comments. Wow, oh wow, would that ever be a hit of perfume to my nose? Because I would look at that data after 4 years. $2.50, ladies and gentlemen, per day is a nice little expenditure. Doesn't cost shit. Cost of a coffee for me to verify that me going into the financial profession, wow, does that ever smell good? Because I've got this video here so that when I make a killing on that trade, you look like a piece of fucking shit. And I'm the one who made the money.